Hey everybody, this is Chris. Time for another edition of Chat with Chris. I'm here with Chris Kirshner from Las Vegas, Nevada, and his YouTube channel is called AdventuresInDIY. Chris, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming, Chris.
I appreciate it. Love your shop. We're going to talk about Japanese tools later, but I just first want to start, if you could introduce your dog and yourself and tell us a little bit how you got into woodworking.
Well, the most important thing is this is Barda, the shop dog, and I'm Chris Kirshner. So I started getting into woodworking. Come on, babies, keep going. I started getting into woodworking about 20 years ago.
20, okay.
Yeah, just kind of going to a friend's house, and he had a table saw and a joiner, and that was pretty much how it started. That was in the 90s, so that was kind of the era of Norm Abrams.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
The
legend.
Yeah, everything was power tools, and he had a tool for everything, and everybody was jealous of his shop. And then it kind of shifted from woodworking whenever I got married and started doing more DIY stuff around the house. And that's where the name AdventuresInDIY comes from. I've had a website up for, I don't know, about 10 years.
Wow.
And
okay.
it was really to share what I was doing more than anything. Mm-hmm. And then about 3 years ago, I started doing YouTube stuff. And, you know, it's again with the power tools more. And I kind of changed over to doing more hand tools recently, maybe about a year.
And why was that?
You know, it's funny because you see it happening to other woodworkers as they progress along. They like the power tools and they like being able to do that really straight cut and get things done. But then it becomes more about focusing on it's almost like a tactile type of thing, mm-hmm. where you're looking.
It's more created with your own hands.
Exactly.
Like
it goes from you have that learning curve of where you're using the power tools and you're learning about wood grain and the different woods and how they'll cut and react to things.
Do I taste good? Do I taste good?
But then you start thinking more. You know, you kind of go to that next level of not craftsmanship, but curiosity more than anything.
Right.
You know, this is how my great-grandfather did it type of thing. And you just kind of pick up that mantle and get really interested in it.
Now, what types of projects do you like to do? Is there a specific area you focus on, or you just kind of do anything, or what drives your project choices?
Well, sometimes it's the contests. So I love doing those contests that people throw out.
Give me an example.
All right, like this last one is the make a pen without a lathe challenge.
Okay.
And I started out with the idea of how can I make it from 100?
Did I break it?
No.
Okay.
It's on there. How can I make something?
Why don't I give that back to you? Okay.
Here. I did this one. This is the second one.
Okay.
So it actually it's pinned in place. But it's how can I make it from 100% scratch?
Okay.
So this is a shell casing from a bullet, and you just get the general shape, and you start getting the spoke shave out, and you start working it more and more, mm-hmm. and then you've got a pen after a while.
That's great.
It takes a little time.
Who issued the challenge?
It was Bill over at One Car Workshop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check out his channel.
Yeah.
Link is in the description. Okay. Okay. And what's this right here?
So this is whenever I started getting into woodworking again and doing it more often, and that's one of the nice things about doing a YouTube channel is you kind of have, it's almost not so much a pressure, but a desire to put out more content. Mm-hmm. So you get more and more interested in things, and I started watching a lot of, it's almost like the equivalent of a Japanese PBS.
Okay.
It's called NHK, and
how do you find this?
If you just Google up NHK,
okay,
it'll come up. And
is it a Japanese channel?
It's done. it's done in Japan, but it's all in English.
Oh, really?
So if you're interested in the Japanese culture and the different areas, then that's a perfect way to start learning about it. And one of the things that they focused on was sashimono, which is, if you start watching some of the YouTube videos on Japanese craftsmanship,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
some of the stuff you see.
You'll see them.
See those two beams that come together?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Right.
That's just
and
amazing.
The stuff that the sashimono focuses on is kind of cabinetry, where it looks plain, but you don't see all the joints inside. But one of the things that was kind of neat with that is the way they take a square piece of wood and then curve it slightly so that it doesn't look so blocky. So this would normally, be about that thick, but because you curve it, your eye doesn't perceive it as something that's heavy.
How do you do that? Is it by steaming, or is it by just actually removing the wood?
No, just removing the wood. So if you look inside, you'll see that there's a curve on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did it with the top and the side. And this is another example of where I was trying to explore textures more.
Okay.
Visual and tactile. And the visual part of this was the fact that I used black glue in between these. So this was a 2x4 that I sliced up.
I didn't know you had black glue. Did you make it? Did you mix it up?
Yeah, if you take some just regular White Elmer's glue and then fail a bunch of times thinking you're going to make red, but then turn out a whole bunch of pink and purples, then you start changing it to black. So, because black is easier to make. Okay. You just put in some acrylic and it turns it black, and you can use it like normal.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's your next project going to be, or what do you have in mind in the future?
That's the tough one. There's always I just finished something for organizing things, which it's kind of all based out of the need. Okay. The next one that I'm doing is an overview of a rolling cart for the CNC machine that I have.
We'll take a look at that later in the tour.
And then, but what I would like to do is, do I have it over here?
Oh yeah.
Let me come here. I'm coming.
It's all right.
Is to actually use this.
I saw the video on this. This is a great video.
The Japanese style kerfing saw, and to to rip my own wood to width, and just maybe make a simple box or something out of it, but to get to use this.
Okay.
Is what I really want to do.
That's a great video. Link in the description section.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's talk about your background in Japanese woodworking. So there's some amazing tools that I saw when we were in Atlanta together. It caused me to go buy one. I use it all the time. But tell me how you got into Japanese tools.
Well, even 20 years ago, this is, you're sitting there looking at the catalogs and stuff like that of all the tool companies that are out there, and those, I was really drawn to those, and I was able to get one. In fact, the one hanging there on the left is my first Japanese handsaw, and I picked that up just by doing mail order, really. Okay. And it became more available. A lot of these now are, these are similar where you would, I'm sure in Japan there's some places where there's like a swap meet, or like the equivalent type of thing where they're just going up and picking up these old hand tools and turning around and selling them on eBay. Right. So,
well, the one I got that you put me on was from eBay, and that was sent directly from Japan. It's so cool. It was wrapped in a Japanese newspaper. Yeah. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, so it's just becoming easier to buy the Japanese hand tools. And
it wasn't too expensive either.
No, it's really not. And it's a good way to get into it. The thing that really sucks is the shipping cost. It's almost $15 or $20 right off the bat. You just not even bat an eye at it. But if you're interested in getting into it and you want to get, not like a disposable blade type of thing, and you really want to just give it a try with, getting like old stock like this. That's the old new stock where they'll ship you the blade. Okay. You can pick one of these up for maybe, with shipping, maybe $45, and then you just make your own handle for it.
Yeah, but it's an opportunity. Again, you talked about hand tools. It's more rewarding, I think, to make your own handle than just buy one.
Yeah. It's fun. And then you can customize it to yourself.
That's awesome. This shirt you're wearing, talk about that a little bit. And we're gonna look at something later. But that's,
Yes,
I don't have one of those, but I want one. I want one.
I put out a video, I don't know, it must have been a year and a half ago, and this is a Japanese whaleback saw.
A what?
Japanese whaleback saw.
Whaleback, okay.
Yeah.
Say it in Japanese.
It's a Maibiki Nokogiri.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, it's after that video, it seems that's what I'm known for.
Dude, go get it. Let's look at this right now. I can't wait.
Let me get it.
I want one of these. I almost bought one on eBay, but I think it was like $300.
Yeah.
And don't fall with that thing. Wow, look at that.
Oh. There you go. I mean, come on. You gotta.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I mean, you can see where the hand hammered sections are for when a blacksmith made this handsaw.
This is amazing. There's this mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the purpose of this saw?
It's used for ripping lumber out of a log.
Okay.
And it's not how you would think. You would think you stand over it like this, but what would happen is you had two guys. One, if the log was big enough, you would have one on one side and one on the other, cutting it horizontally, and they would synchronize so that they would cut from one side and the other together.
What would the guy on this side hold on to?
No, they'd have a separate saw. They'd have another one of these, and as they went
stacked on top?
not stacked on top, as this guy went forward, the other guy pulled back.
Okay.
So they would sit there and cut together.
Wow.
And that was for something extremely large, but I mean this thing.
But why does it need to be so wide?
Well, if you're cutting horizontally like that, it just helps it keep it flat and straight.
And I also noticed that the teeth, they start out wide in terms of the gap, and it gets smaller down here. Why is that?
You with all the Japanese tools or the hand saws, you'll see that you'll have a closer tooth down here at the bottom to help you get started.
Okay.
And as you get towards the top, that's where you really start removing a lot of material.
This is great.
And then the pitch on this is designed to be used with softwoods.
Okay. I wonder what the pitch would be for a hardwood.
I think that it's not as aggressive, so it's a little bit more.
Got it, because you can't really take that much out.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Whaleback. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a good broad axe, man. But I have to say, that's more impressive than my broad axe.
No,
it really is.
no.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was really stoked.
How much did you pay for that?
It was about, with shipping, about $250.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The joy you get out of it. The joy.
Yeah.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Why don't we start? Why don't we go into the tour now?
Okay.
Then we'll come back and do some more interviewing. So
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay. Well, you've seen the whaleback saw over here, and this is held up by a magnet because there's no way I'm gonna trust having that fall off. I mean, that's
good idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this is the very first Japanese handsaw that I purchased about 20 years ago. These are some newer ones. This one I got specifically because it's kind of a cheaper blade, and I want to use this ripping piece here for another one of those kerfing saws.
Okay, got it.
And then most people have this one, which is a dozuki, and this is for fine cuts and doing joinery. This one is more for ripping, and this is if you wanted to start doing a cut in the center of something.
Yep.
Like
What's that saw called?
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. And here's the saw that
that's the one I
turned
bought.
you on. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that called?
Oh my goodness, man.
Come on, man.
I don't know the names.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you got another beast there.
Yeah. So this is another one.
Oh, wow.
This one I accidentally won.
What do you mean you won it?
No, I mean on eBay. I accidentally won this one.
Okay.
So it's just one of those fun accidents. How's that? But this one is for cross-cutting, but I've used it for ripping as well, just because, you know, you
Now
can...
that looks similar to, you know, a saw I have, but it's more for pine, isn't it?
This one?
Because the slots can clear out, at least?
Yeah, it is
for sappy
more
wood?
for sappy woods, yeah.
Okay. That's
But if you
terrific.
look up here, it's the same thing. You've got a row of smaller teeth, and then before you get to the more aggressive teeth towards the bottom.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
And this is just a little magnetic crosscut guide
Oh, for weight.
for...
No, I mean, this keeps it, pulls down, or is there metal on the back?
I use this actually. This sits on... if I want to do a crosscut, and I just set it up here,
Oh, okay.
and then the saw blade rides on it.
Okay. So you do very simple sawhorses. I mean, you don't have a big workbench in here, so how do you get your work done?
You know, you'd be surprised at what these little sawhorses can do for you. It's easy enough, just if you wanted to do a quick cut. So the reason it works so well is because Japanese tools cut on the pull stroke. Oh, you're helping out? Oh, anything that falls on the ground is Barda's, by the way. So
okay.
If I don't get it fast enough, she's on it.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But like I was saying, really you're just using your body weight to hold down the pieces as you're cutting it. So I don't even need my foot to hold down. It would just sit there with my hand and really do the same thing. Hey babies, how you doing? Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, get back. So it's the same principle.
Got it.
These are also nice because that's my platform for the most part whenever I do woodworking.
Yeah, and it doesn't take up a lot of space.
No, it doesn't.
Here we go. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so this is my planing board. So these are adjustable. This is just made out of Douglas fir. This is an oak strip that I had sitting around. You just adjust these to the height that you want for planing. And the thing with this is,
And this is a different. So again, this plane here is.
It's a Japanese plane, right?
Okay.
It cuts on the pull stroke, and this one.
Did you make that one?
I got it off of eBay,
Okay.
and you can tell it's been used really well. And the throat on this is fairly large,
Okay.
so I kind of use it as a jack plane. But
Perfect. So you just use your body weight to hold that.
right.
Hold it from sliding, and there you go.
Yeah, my knee is holding it in place so that this holds it back.
Did you make a video on this thing as well?
I did, yeah.
All right, I'll get that link as well. Terrific. This is the heart of woodworking. Small shops like this, you gotta work smarter, not harder.
And that's really why I've gravitated more towards Japanese tools is it doesn't take a lot of space. If you look at some of the videos out there, they've got folks that are doing it in what would be like kind of a living room setting. You don't need a traditional bench. I really don't have room for it because my wife has to park in here.
Got it. Yeah. Smart man.
Most important.
That's right. Happy wife is a happy life.
Exactly.
All right. That's awesome. Let's see where you store it. So you got this great tool chest over here.
All right. I was lucky enough to get this tool chest. It belonged to a craftsman, or actually a carpenter up in Washington State. And from there, it was really packed full of tools. I didn't do a video on this, but I decided to make these compartments by hand using his tools, just kind of as to honor him. So all these pieces were hand planed, and it's just simple joints on it.
Okay.
So it goes from the tools I use the most to the tools that it's nice to take them out every once in a while, but I probably won't use them that often. So there's some molding planes. This Bailey here, I think it's a, shoot, is it a 7? Yeah. Bailey number 7 was my great-grandfather's.
Oh, great. Terrific. Okay, we've checked out the garage shop. Let's go outside and see your outdoor work area.
Okay. Well, let me grab this because this is where I normally work. Is outside. So when I first designed this, it was to sit on top of this.
Perfect. Perfect.
So I can either work inside whenever it's cold for a month, or I come out here. There's plenty of shade from the trees, so it's really not that bad. Especially if I'm working more aggressively, it's nice to have this this bench, which I do some welding, and I cobbled together a welding table.
Smart.
Out of this.
There you go. Again, taking advantage of the limited space.
Right.
All right, now you showed me before you got a little treasure underneath this tarp here.
Oh, okay.
I want it.
So this, I really should do this next for you.
Please do.
This is a hand crank table saw.
Oh man.
And it looks like it's a lot of just angle iron, some of the gears. It's almost as if it was something that they bought out of like a Sears and Roebuck catalog type of thing.
Could be.
Yeah. I haven't seen any real markings on it, but you see it's got a metal chain over here with square.
Where's the flywheel?
It's in one of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All these boxes here are parts from this. Yeah. One thing with the channel though, I try to do is I try to at the end I try to focus on Barda. And I now included a like adopt a shop dog or a shop pet at the very end type of thing.
How does that work?
Well, it's more just kind of a logo that I put at the end, and at the end of every one of the videos I focus in on her, so that it kind of brings the awareness of adoption for animals.
So you adopted Barda.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. She was just kind of thrown over a fence at a rescue society, and
Oh really?
yeah. And when we got her, we thought she was a different color. She was so dirty. She was a really light gray, almost like a Weimaraner, and yeah. The vet bathed her before they spayed her, and we got like a really dark dog. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was,
well, she's a great dog. Very friendly. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a pit bull, but I mean, dogs are mean or loving based on how they're treated.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, she can't stop licking me. So
yeah.
You know, we didn't. So let's just talk a little bit about your day job. So you're a computer programmer by day.
I kind of shifted more towards the project management stuff now.
Okay.
And that's really, I think, why I make more things now, because I got into computer programming because I started out in mechanical engineering, but then that was kind of slow as far as making things.
Yeah.
And then computer programming, I mean, it's keystrokes pretty much. I mean, you're starting to create things, and you're working in teams to get things done, and it's really it's satisfying. Mm-hmm. You know, kind of fills that need to make things. But then whenever I shifted more towards, you know, the management and coordination side of things, there was that void where I really you got that itch to just make something.
Right.
And now it's more physical. You know, I just get out to the shop, figure out, okay, what do I have? Let's start making something.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I mean, that's what woodworking's all about. And makers is making stuff and making it with your hands. Even if you use power tools, that's okay. But hand tools are just more rewarding. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I swear I need to get tested because I think I have some ADD or something.
I think we all do.
I'm really fascinated with tool making and blacksmithing and just doing foundry work for some reason. I don't understand why, but I think the blacksmithing portion of it really appeals to me more.
That's quite an adventure, man.
It's a whole new tool set and everything, and I'm really hesitant to take that first step into it because then it's just a rabbit hole.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I do think that you should do some focused videos on your Japanese saws, the types, how to use them. 'Cause I don't know. I mean, the one that you put me onto is the most amazing cutting tool I have. I mean, it cuts so amazing. I think you should do that, and I would also then talk about maybe how you care and maintain them, because I don't think a lot of people know that, and I think that'd be something that people would be interested in.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, that is whenever I do research on how to maintain a tool, a lot of times it's not actually understanding what they're saying. I'm just watching. Mm-hmm. So I'll start watching Japanese videos, and you just start seeing how the person is sitting and holding the plane or chiseling a certain way, or using the tool that you have, and you're like, oh, holy mackerel, I can use it like that? Okay. You know, but it's a lot of paying attention to the details, and there's not a lot of kind of English translation.
Oh, that's true. Stuff. But you know, knowing the technique, really, the physical technique more than the verbal technique is probably more important than this.
It is, and a lot of times that just comes from practice. You know, just starting to use it. You just can't be afraid to get in there and start using the tools.
Exactly. Chris, anything else you want to talk about for your channel? Anything you want to say to everybody out there? Well,
I'd like to thank everybody that posts comments and thumbs up. It's really, I don't want to say validating. It's really nice that folks take the time. I mean, because I understand everybody's busy nowadays, and the people that take the time and watch the videos, and I'm really appreciative of it. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, they're awesome. Our people watch your videos are the best people in the world.
Right.
You know, even the few that troll us, but that's okay. You know,
some of those comments are really interesting. Yeah,
but some of it we deserve, some of it we don't.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, and some of them are just odd in general. Because in the summertime I wear tank tops, and there's certain comments about physique that are just kind of interesting.
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
That's all right. That's all right. That's great. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for letting me stop by.
I really
enjoyed meeting your wife as well and seeing your house. And
it's been great.
You know, so for folks who don't subscribe, please subscribe. Chris Kirshner, Adventures in DIY. So thanks again. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Chat with Chris. Appreciate all your comments, and all the links we talked about will be in the description section. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.